There's this constant battle going on inside all of us, whether we realize it or not. It's an inner fight that pretty much decides everything: our success, our failures, our relationships. Today, we're getting right into that, into this timeless struggle between our ego and our humility.
So let's start with something we can all relate to. Think about the last argument you had. How did it happen? How does a simple little disagreement suddenly just blow up into a massive fight?
And what about relationships? Why do these connections that feel so solid, so real, just shatter? A lot of the time, it's over stuff that, looking back, seems so small. And if you zoom out, you see it on a bigger scale too. Why do people who have reached the absolute peak of their game, I mean, in business, sports, you name it, suddenly make a decision that brings it all crashing down? It's not just a string of bad luck. There's something else going on, a pattern connecting all of this. It all comes down to one single thing: ego. That's the invisible force behind all this self-destruction, all this conflict. It's that voice in our head that promises it's protecting us, but really, it's just quietly tearing down everything we've built. Now, what's really fascinating is that this isn't some new modern problem. Not at all. This is a struggle people have been talking about for thousands of years, with some serious warnings passed down through ancient texts. And the Bhagavad Gita does not mess around. It lays it out right there: pride, arrogance, anger. It directly connects these traits to our worst, most destructive impulses. So we're not just talking about personality flaws here. We're talking about qualities that actively pull us away from who we want to be. Okay, so let's really break this down and get a good look at what we're up against. It's so important to be able to tell the difference between ego and, say, confidence, because on the surface, they can look surprisingly similar. And here's the core of it. Real confidence, that comes from the inside. It's quiet, it's solid, it doesn't need to announce itself. But ego, well, ego is a performance. It's loud, it's flashy, and it's always looking for applause, because deep down, it's totally insecure and needs constant proof that it's good enough. You really see this come to life when there's a conflict. The second the ego feels challenged, its instinct is to lash out. It reacts, defends, attacks. But humility? Humility hits the pause button. It takes a step back. It listens, it observes, and then it decides what to do. It's the huge difference between a gut reaction and a thoughtful response. And really, it all boils down to what you're trying to achieve. For the ego, every single conversation is a battle, and the goal is simple: I have to win. But for wisdom, for humility, the goal isn't just to be right, it's to get it right. The focus totally shifts to learning and understanding the actual truth, even if it means, gasp, admitting you were wrong. And that brings us to this amazing paradox. All that noise, that aggression, that absolute certainty, it isn't a sign of strength at all. It's a sign of just how fragile that ego is. Think about it. A truly strong building doesn't have to shout about how strong its foundation is. It just is. So let's bring this all back to right now. This isn't just some dusty old philosophy. This battle is being fought every single day on the modern battlefield of our lives, at work, at home, with our friends, everywhere. Okay, for real, be honest with yourself for a second. That last argument you got into, what was your actual goal? Were you really trying to find a solution, or were you just trying to prove that you were right and they were wrong? The answer to that question tells you everything about whether your ego was running the show. And the cost of letting your ego run the show is steep. It makes you double down on your mistakes instead of learning a thing from them. That defensiveness pushes people away, leaving you feeling isolated. And at the end of the day, if you can never admit you're wrong, you can never, ever grow. But look at the flip side. The rewards for choosing humility are incredible. It opens you up to feedback, which is how we get better at anything. It builds genuine trust and connection with people. Whether you're a leader, a partner, a friend, this is the strategy that actually wins in the long run. So we really need to flip the script on how we think about this. For way too long, people have thought of humility as some kind of weakness. But that couldn't be more wrong. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this right here. You don't lose anything by being humble. You don't lose respect. You gain real, unshakable strength. Admitting you don't know everything, being open to new ideas, that's where true confidence comes from. It sounds simple, right? Let go of ego, grow in wisdom. But it's a practice. It's a choice we get to make in every single interaction, every single day. Are we going to feed that part of us that needs to win, or are we going to nurture the part of us that just wants to understand?
Because that's what it comes down to. This big inner battle is won or lost in all those small daily choices. The ego's path, it offers that quick hit of feeling right, but it leads to isolation. The path of humility, it takes courage for sure, but it leads to real connection, real wisdom, real growth. So the only question left is, which path are you going to choose?